This appeared in a garden overnight. By the next morning, it had moved on its own several inches across the mulch. Nothing alive is supposed to do that without a brain. And this has no brain at all. Most people see it, panic, and wash it away, never knowing they just destroyed one of the strangest living things on Earth. It usually starts the same way. You walk into your garden on a warm, damp morning and something is there that wasn't there yesterday. A bright yellow, foamy blob slumped across your mulch or lawn like something was sick on it overnight. Your first instinct is that an animal did this. A cat, a dog, but there's no animal. So you decide it's a fungus, some kind of mold spreading through the soil. It isn't that either. What you're looking at isn't a plant, isn't an animal, and isn't a fungus. Scientists had to invent an entire category just to file it away, a group they half-jokingly reserve for the living things they don't fully understand. It didn't even form where you'd expect. The change happens quietly in the evening, while no one is watching, so by the time you find it at breakfast, it looks like it simply materialized out of nothing. And here's the first
This is how I record my slime mold time-lapse
videos. Back
videos.
Tomorrow. It won't be where you left it, because this thing moves. Not blown by the wind. Not spreading like a stain. It crawls slowly, deliberately, mostly under the cover of night, flowing across the ground like a living liquid. By morning, it can be inches from where it started, draped over a fresh patch of mulch, as if it went looking for something while you slept. And it did. Now hold on to this, because most people refuse to believe it. That entire blob, sometimes a foot wide or more, is a single cell. Not a colony of tiny creatures. Not thousands of cells working together. One single cell, just enormous, with millions of nuclei sharing one body, with no skeleton.
Slime mold plasmodium pulses bidirectionally every 90 seconds or so. This phenomenon is called cytoplasmic streaming and looks like breathing when sped up. This is 60 minutes elapsed. Insect egg slime mold Leocarpus fragilis.
And no nervous system of any kind. How does something with nothing to think with make choices? Because it does make them. Drop it into an unfamiliar space and it doesn't wander randomly. It spreads in every direction at once, tasting its surroundings, and then, this is the strange part, it pulls back. It abandons the dead ends. It keeps only the paths that lead somewhere. It moves toward food and pulls away from light and danger, weighing its options like something far more deliberate than a smear of goo has any right to be. It can even creep out into open sunlight, something most of its relatives never dare. In the year 2000, a scientist in Japan decided to test exactly how far this went. He placed a piece of the blob at the entrance of a maze, a single oat flake at the exit, and walked away. The blob filled the whole maze. Then, over a few hours, it began to retreat, withdrawing from every wrong turn, every dead end, until all that was left was one unbroken ribbon of slime, tracing the single shortest path through the maze to the food. It solved it. A creature with no brain solved a puzzle we build to measure intelligence. And the scientists watching were not ready for what it did next. Once they knew it could solve a maze, they made the tests harder. Much harder. They laid out oat flakes in the exact positions of the cities around Tokyo and released the blob in the middle. Within days, it had linked every city with a web of slime, and that web was almost identical to the real Tokyo rail network that human engineers had spent decades designing. It rebuilt one of the most efficient transport systems on Earth, by accident, with no brain. Then it did the same for the highways of Canada, the UK, and Spain. Researchers handed it spatial problems designed for people, and in some tests, it found better solutions than Harvard graduate students. But the moment that truly broke the rules came when they tried to destroy it. They cut a single blob into pieces and scattered them. The pieces didn't die. They crawled toward each other, found one another, fused back into one body, and carried on as if nothing had happened, with nothing lost. Because somehow it remembers. It can't store memory in a brain it doesn't have, so it stores it outside itself.
This is how I record my slime mold time-lapse videos.
Reading its own past like notes left
slime
on the ground.
mold plasmodium pulses bidirectionally every 90 seconds or so. This phenomenon is called cytoplasmic streaming and looks like breathing when sped up. This is 60 minutes elapsed. Insect egg slime mold Leocarpus fragilis.
Gardens exactly like yours, because that brainless genius, the maze solver, the network builder, is the exact same yellow blob sitting on your mulch right now. The one you were about to scrape off and throw in the bin. Don't. It isn't harming your plants. It doesn't feed on them at all. It drifts across your garden eating bacteria and decay, quietly cleaning up what's already dying. It's harmless to you, to your pets, to your flowers. People have always sensed there was something uncanny about it. Long before anyone understood what it was, cultures gave it the same kind of name, which is spit, moon droppings, the foam left behind by something unseen. In parts of Mexico, people scrape it up and scramble it like eggs. For most of history, it was a thing to fear, or to eat, or to wipe away in disgust. It was never any of those things. It was something far stranger that we simply weren't ready to see. We like to believe intelligence belongs to us, to brains, to creatures with eyes and faces and thoughts. And then something with a single cell and a billion years of patience quietly solves the problems we're proud of solving, and we're forced to admit we don't understand intelligence nearly as well as we thought. Today, scientists aren't only studying it anymore. They're using it, borrowing its method to design smarter networks, and even to help map the hidden structure of the universe itself.
This is how I record my slime mold time-lapse videos.
Look a little closer before you reach for
Slime
the
mold plasmodium pulses bidirectionally every 90 seconds or so. This phenomenon is called cytoplasmic streaming and looks like breathing when sped up. This is 16 minutes elapsed. Insect egg slime mold Leocarpus graduus.
And again somewhere new. You don't destroy it. It simply moves on. And the soil it's crawling across hides something stranger still, a vast, living network beneath your feet that quietly connects almost every plant in your garden. That's where we go next.